Are you curious why I left Australia with 4 kids and my wife and moved all the way to Japan? Well, in today's episode, my wife's going to ask me the hard questions about why we left Australia, whose idea was it, and even more. So I'll pass over to my wife who's behind the camera and we'll start the interview.
Okay, I'll ask a few questions.
Okay, thank you.
Something that I've been asked to, even from my friends or lots of family members, to move to Japan. Was that my choice, my choice, or your choice, or kind of family decision?
I think that it's a many of our friends and family believe that it's my wife's decision that we moved to Japan and that we left Australia.
Because it's my country.
It's your country and it's a beautiful country.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I feel like it was my choice to leave Australia. It was both our choices, but in the end, I think that the reason why we moved to Japan, the reason why we were able to make that decision is because we wanted to prioritize our children and their own growth and development and their access and opportunity to spend more time with family. And I guess, it was essentially a joint decision, but realistically, I'm just as much as a supporter of moving to Japan as my wife, and in the end it really fit with our family's plan about what we wanted to do. And the idea of spending this gap year here in Japan really was a way for us to ensure that the kids could better understand the Japanese side of their family. So I think it's a joint decision.
Yeah. So, you told me lots of good things about Japan. Is there something wrong with Australia, or just Japan is better at the moment?
Something wrong with Australia? Well, Australia is a very different country than what I grew up in 30 years ago. There were a lot of very big challenges living in Australia, if I'm honest. The cost of living has gone through the roof in Australia. At one point in time, it only cost maybe $100 to $150 for groceries per week, and then suddenly, last year, inflation had reached such a high point that I think as a family we were spending probably $300 or more on groceries per week. And then rent was really expensive, mortgages are really expensive, childcare is really expensive. In Japan now, they have a system where childcare is universal. It's available especially for families who've got 3 or more kids, so we're in that situation. So for us, the difference in living expenses is just so much less in Japan. I think that we'll do a full video around cost of living here in Japan since we've moved here, but my initial calculation is that living in Japan compared to Sydney or compared to Australia in general is less than half of what it costs in Australia, maybe 50% or less. And so for a family, you can very comfortably live on $3,000 a month or so, which is just so much less than Australia. Yeah.
True. So what scared you the most to moving to Japan?
The thing that scared me the most is that Japanese is a very hard language, and because Japanese people are very friendly but their English is not so strong, it means it's a little bit difficult to communicate when you first move here. And also, we can't forget that Japan is a Japanese society. It's not like Australia where you've got people from all different backgrounds. In Japan, especially where we live in Sendai, North Japan, it's more than 98% Japanese, which is really great because you have a very strong culture and you have a great strong sense of community. But it also means that if you want to speak with your neighbors and with your teachers and others at schools, all the kids are going to Japanese school here, not English school. I need to be able to speak better Japanese, and so I've really made it my effort every day to learn and speak Japanese, but it's a very difficult language. So if you have any tips for me how to learn Japanese or learning languages in general, leave them down in the comments below.